And of course, over time, as he's approaching 18, he's had a massive growth spurt. Oh, hello. I'm going to say he will go for it. He has to change his throw all the time.
Do you know what Connor's doing right now? Because we're constantly talking about Leighton. He's saying, talk about me. Talk about what I'm doing. I want your attention.
25.
You've got our attention, Connor. Double 8.
Got Leighton's attention. Back-to-back 14 darters.
$18.
He's not going to be happy with his double stats at the end of this game, come what may. But Leighton, he finds this will make him feel so much better. Drags it left.
82.
He's had plenty of chances. In fact, he's had 15 darts at double in this match. Heno looking at threes and finds his way to an opening 4-1 win. Work for Bennett to do, but it is a marathon, not a sprint. It's only 2 points lost. Not all is lost in that early match, but Heno gets the first win. As you can see, lots of darts at double in that match.
Benjamin, you require
Speaking of comebacks, he was 1-0 down. Chance.
Aye, aye, aye. Tops.
91.
I'm quite surprised, actually, he didn't go for 15.
20.
He likes double 18. It was an option. Double 5 for Ostlund. We're just seeing that a little bit when he's got the darts. A little bit of tightness in the arm, like we saw from Leighton Bennett. Benjamin takes full advantage to take the lead now with a break of throw.
Yeah, it's a nice little spell here.
It took time for that to happen. The development stage needed to take place first. And the same needs to happen with Swedish and Danish darts. And indeed Finnish too.
If you go way back when, we'll just watch this.
Ostlund
finds the ball on the 104 to stop the rot. Best leg of the match so far.
54 would have left the bull. So now it's a match dart for the Dane.
Benjamin, you require 40. Game shot.
He doesn't need asking twice. That's a wonderful last leg from Benjamin. 13 darts. Took him a bit of time to get in the game, but when he got his opportunities, he took them in the end. His doubles percentage in the end at 40% was very decent, and there's definitely another level to find with this guy. Just watch out as Denmark takes that one by 4 legs to 2.
Appearances. Don't think I've ever been the same since.
Game shot on the 4th leg, Reus Griffin.
Some people just have that effect on you.
No score.
That could be.
That's because you require 56.
The end of the match.
Double top.
18.
Dickie Bird says wide.
Reus, you require 32.
That kind of throw, which we will talk about when we see him return. When he plays Benjamin a little later, we will discuss.
On the 6th leg, Reus Griffin.
Reus Griffin does level the match. And it won't if he can take out 95. Should go ball, really. And he's gone that way because the 25 leaves 70. Single 20 leaves the ball.
He's got a bit of a cushion next to that bull as well, but he doesn't need it.
85.
That was a very aggressive and a very fine try.
Require 10.
They're both on 5s. It was the winning double in week 4 for Conan Whitehead.
Game
and
shot.
it wins the first game of round 1 for Reus Griffin. 4-3 is the result, and it's one of the better results statistic-wise that we've had here in round 1.
We talk about throws that shouldn't work. Conor Heneghan's a perfect example. It's very wristy, isn't it?
109.
This is the time to get rid of it now that Anton's on a finish. Well done. Just like that.
Conor Heneghan.
Yeah, there's a lot of fingers on the barrel and the stem. There's a bit of a twist in the wrist.
Take a look on your require 136.
He's retired now, which is a bit of a shame. We don't get to see Magnus anymore. He's a really good mate of mine. He actually brought me some Swedish potatoes from
41.
from Sweden once at a Players' Championship in Crawley. He brought me some fresh salmon as well. That was a real surprise. Just like that 4-0 victory for Conor Heneghan, because now Anton Ostlund has lost his first couple of games. He's going to have to find something extra in the middle portion of the day to try and make sure that he's got a chance of staying towards the top. But the top is where Conor Heneghan is. We said he would better that 76 average from his first game. He has done so by 15 points, and his checkouts were a lot better too. As players like Fred Couples.
Not the deodorant.
No. They had links clubs which were for couples and for L's. Ooh, that's a bust shot for Boom Boom's opponent. But they actually named a driver after Fred and called it the Lynx Boom Boom. Well, that's just a boom. And it is the first leg of the contest, and it is a break back. Stay in the match. Needs 89 more. It could well be his second 4-1 defeat.
76.
But it can't be ignored that Reus Griffin has played superbly in this game. And he's won it with a 76 checkout in 2. Bennett's average from his first game has gone up by 19 points. It still wasn't good enough because Reus Griffin there with that one of 94.81. That's the performance of the day. He looked super comfortable. And now we have to look at him as a potential winner of this group if he can maintain something like that.
Barauskas, you require 40.
At least this time he does get another try. And this time it pays off.
Barauskas.
He is ultimately frustrated, but back in the match now, it could have been a lot worse. He'll take a 12. But right now, the layup is more than fine.
Yeah, played the right shot there. Good board management.
That thing that he did earlier by leaving double 18, it seems to have been
57.
A bit of an oasis in the desert of leaving other stuff. Because that is a 4-3 win for the Dane. Very, very good indeed. We now have 3 players on 4 points in the table and 3 players on 0. So we have separation already, and that is because Benjamin, putting in that 13 darter at the end, he dispatches the Lithuanian by 4 legs to 3 for the second time today. But now he's got to find the target.
58. Conor, you require 32.
Angle is awkward, but you can open it up. Going to stay there.
That
was a gutsy play because he didn't have anything in the way of double 8. Just like that, he gets back on it. Double top. Is he going to give Griffin a shot? That's a no from me and a no from him as well. Getting it again. Not this time. A little smile as if to say, 94. You can wait. I'll get it later.
Thursday. He does it on a Thursday.
Look how disappointed he is. It's almost as if to say, I know that other people have got 9 daughters 60. Now. I want to reinforce my status as Mr. 9 daughter here in Portsmouth. Double 16 though. Gives him a wonderful 11-dart leg. That was a fabulous kick from 2-0 down. He goes 4 straight to average almost 95. He really did kick in that last leg, didn't he?
T5.
Double 8. Ostlund is not missing. Whereas Barauskas is being made to pay for every miss he has. Another tidy layup. 55. And a 13-darter beckons, and he would, if he continues his doubling prowess, get his first 90-plus average here.
140.
It'd be in excess of 93 if he pins it with dart 1. which he does.
And the match, Anton
A brilliant
Ostlund.
doubling performance, 80% from Anton, 4 out of 5, an average of 93.73, the 180, 5 140s in there. An all-round good, solid performance.
I'll never forget that bite as long as I live, which is why I'm going to go back someday. Now, here's the thing, Leighton.
100.
Don't
Leighton,
give him a
your
look at
score,
120.
68.
No, because he's 2 from 2 on the outer ring. That's a beautiful first start.
Game shot
That's
the
more
third
like
leg,
it.
Leighton
14
Bennett.
darter from Leighton. Oh,
Your
Well,
wire
this is
114.
an opportunity to draw level. And for the first time today, to get 2 legs in a match.
Game shot of the fourth leg.
That's more
Leighton
like
Bennett.
it. No 180s, but 13 ton plus scores. Double 18.
Game shot.
And there's
the
nothing
match,
that
Benjamin
Bennett can do
Reus.
about that. He did play so much better, but Benjamin Reus is undefeated after 3 rounds. You might not think it by his expression. He's keeping everything in. It's internal for him. But when he comes back in game 11, he will take on Conor Heneghan. I can't wait to see that. But even before that, we've got Anton Ostlund, who's just got his first victory, playing against Reus Griffin, who's having a very good day.
Your wire 28.
The man with a name for the mythical creature is starting to fly, my pretty.
Game shot of
14
the fourth
darter.
leg, Reus Griffin.
Reus Griffin looking to join a club of 2 on 6 points, albeit with an extra game played. Oh, what a marker. Double 12. Oh, what a
Game
finish
shot of
that
the
is
fifth
from
leg,
Anton.
Anton Ostlund.
That's a world-class hit.
wow. Treble 18. Ooh. Yeah, sigh of relief from
56.
Reus, I'm sure.
Reus, you require 10.
Double 5 again. Being here
Game
already
shot.
today, and he
the
does
match,
get the win.
Reus Griffin.
He had to work so hard for that one. That was a superb contest. But you have to give Anton a lot of credit. He was really on the rack. But then that 144 checkout, which was world class for the timing of it, he gave himself an opportunity of getting the win. But ultimately, he couldn't break Griffin in the last leg.
Mr. Magoo, John McGowan against George Drue. I think that was my last ever match.
Oh, yeah. All green
114.
and almost a 138 on double 12.
I've just checked, and that film I was on about did get released 2 out of 10. It was called Legends of the
59.
Bog
Conor, you require 24.
or Assault of Darkness.
Game
And
shot of the fourth leg.
It actually
Conor Heneghan.
featured a guy who was actually a boxer and
Conor, you require 96.
Let's see what Conor can do from 96. What he needs to do is to get rid of Benjamin quickly. Double 9.
78.
He's had his chance of getting
Benjamin,
rid of him
you require
quickly.
136.
But at least he will return to get rid of him eventually.
76. Conor, you require 18.
Straight for it. Didn't even entertain the
Game
option of
shot.
splitting it.
And the match.
He
Conor
knows best
Heneghan.
because he is 4 wins from 4. A first defeat for Benjamin Reus. And when he comes back in the next round, he will have a chance of 8 points from 10 for the day against Reus Griffin. But flower power. Don't see much of him these days. Be nice to run into Nico at some point. But
Game
speaking
shot
of
the second
running,
leg, Leighton Bennett.
this is better, isn't it? 16 darts per leg for the first couple.
confessed it.
He chooses double 16.
Game shot.
First
and the
points
match
of the
for
day.
Leighton Bennett.
A really good performance from Leighton Bennett. Averages over 91 and his doubles were excellent as well. 57%. I think that's going to make him feel so much better. But every single round of play has seen improvement from the young man from Lincolnshire. He beat the next person by 5. And that was Steve West.
140.
Yeah,
Reus
no
Bar,
slouch
87.
in that department.
Great first start.
Game
That
shot
one
the
isn't
fourth
bad
leg,
either.
Reus Griffin.
Second time he has brought things back to level. I get the feeling Griffin is going to show a little bit more like the dragon he could possibly be. Maybe
47.
he's just
Benjamin, you
one
require
visit
40.
behind.
Yep. On throw. The
Game
double 10
shot
is found,
and
and
a match,
Benjamin,
Drue.
he finishes his day off on 8 points, winning 4 out of 5 matches. The only player to defeat him is the man out on top. It's Conor Heneghan. Wins for De Decker, Steve Lennon, Callan Ridds, the winner yesterday. Gian Van Veen with 111.33, 6-0
37. Later you
over
require
Damien Mole.
106.
Wadey out. Barneveld through, Bunting through, Beaton through, Williams through, De Souza through, Wilkinson through, Anderson through, and Vinstra through.
90.
Unfortunately, Leighton Bennett
And
not
on you
getting
require
through
40.
the barrier there in leg 4. Ostlund to re-establish that 2-leg cushion. Double 10.
Game shot of the
That
fourth
is a
leg,
huge,
Anton
huge
Ostlund.
hit. And a big blow to Leighton Bennett here in round 5. Double top.
54.
That could be
And on you require 40.
the end right there for Leighton Bennett, and his day will come to a conclusion with just the one win. This man has been super reliable on the outer ring, and that
Game
continues
shot and the match,
with
Anton
a final
Ostlund.
dart, hitting the double 10. And he ends his campaign today on day 1 of Group A with 4 points, an average of 84.69, 5 140s, 4 out of 13 on the double. When we come,
Less weight.
Barauskas you require 25.
Still double 8.
Game shot
And
the
that
second
is
leg,
2-0
Barauskas, Barauskas.
to the Lithuanian. This is a bit of an
Third
unexpected
leg, Connor
turn of
to
events.
Barauskas. Connor you require
match starts, and
132.
he's left himself awkwardly on double 3. Treble 19 and ball. Oh, he's got the treble 19. Can't
107.
find the ball. Brushes against the
Barauskas you
previous
require
start.
6. Game shot and a match,
But it is
Barauskas.
Barauskas, who does pick up his first win, and he picks it up in some style, winning 4-0 against the player who was unbeaten going into the final match of the opening day of this Group A in Week 5.
Chris, thank you very much indeed. And whoever had that on their coupon today, going to be feeling a little bit better about themselves, and no one saw that coming.
No, not at all. But I think that 3-game break between Game 4 and Game 5 for Connor has obviously taken its toll. He hasn't been here for a while, so playing 5 games in a day, even with his experience, sometimes you can tail off. Did he take Mindy for granted? I sincerely hope not. But you saw how many chances Mendegas was given, and he took advantage of it. He's got his first 2 points, and everybody gets points today, so that's a good thing.
I know it's a below-par version of Heneghan in that final game, but the fact he's picked up points, can that give Mindy a bit of confidence?
It can. Now, if he gets the double over Connor and goes into his second game tomorrow with 4 points, I think we'll see a different side to him. But I think Connor's going to be philosophical about today. 8 points from 10 is always a good total for a first day, and he will still feel good about it. But I get the feeling that that defeat will hurt him a little bit, and he'll want to get his revenge in Game 1 tomorrow.
Well, let's have a look then at the results from today's session. 15 games have now come and gone, all been completed. And, well, it was a day dominated by the Irishman and the Dane in the end. And, well, that can be summed up by the league table, which we'll look at in just a second. But as far as Benjamin Drue's day is concerned, we mentioned at the top of the show, we saw some really good stuff from him at the World Cup of Darts, but that was in doubles play. But he showed us in singles play on that stage. He is just as prolific.
It's only the start as well. He's getting exposure to these stage lights and the stage temperatures, and the pressure of playing in front of nobody here, and indeed in front of audiences. Now, he's never won a leg at the Nordic Darts Masters, but he's played two fabulous players in Dimitri Vandenberg and Gerwin Price. But it doesn't take away from his talent. And I just get the feeling that this is just the start of something for him. He has a very unusual action, but he has a mentality that people would pay good money for, and that can take you a long way.
And it's interesting him speaking to me up here on the balcony from the end of his last match. He was talking about how he's just trying to get used to, trying to get settled to that stage game. And he was saying as the day went along here, he looked far more and felt far more relaxed.
I'm not surprised, because we saw smatterings of what he can do on the Nordic and Baltic Tour and some other stuff that is recorded. But his inclusion here is not a coincidence. It's because people genuinely believe that he could be the next phase of Danish darts. He mentioned Andreas Toft Jorgensen, who a lot of people lauded as the next person to, take the mantle of Per Larsen and some others. But I think it's going to be a group of people in that same age range, and Benjamin's just one of them. Maybe he's the shining star of it, or should I say, what's his nickname again?
The Flying Star.
The Flying Star. Got it wrong. Yeah, he might be the flying star of the lot.
Well, he's been a shooting star on day one, that is for sure, and all of his wishes may have just come true. I'll stop with the corny puns right there, don't worry. As for Conor Heneghan, take that last result aside, he looked pretty head and shoulders, didn't he?
Yeah, I think we talk more about experience than anything else when you've got 5 debutants. But I think the philosophical thing to say on the end of a Monday is that you must be in position to move forward on Tuesday, and lots of people are going to be able to say that they can. As to whether they will, people will have to tune in tomorrow. But the worst thing that could happen is if you walk away with 2 points or 0 points. We can now say, because Mindy has brought Conor back to 8, is that everybody's still in the race, and that makes for a very interesting day.
It really does. Well, the checkout of the day belongs really to Anton Ostlund, that 144, and it was the clutch element of it. I know Reus Griffin goes on and takes the spoils in this one, but your opponent's out on 82, and you go and do that. It says a lot about his character and temperament. Yeah,
it does. It wasn't as if he jagged the 60 on both sides and then hit the double 12 in the corner. That was a classy out, and that tells us a lot about his mindset, his technique, and his ability to do something under pressure. Mace was very impressed with him. I was too, and I think even if he doesn't win Group A, I think he's going to stand a very good chance of making Saturday.
As for Reus Griffin, he spoke up his chances in the pre-match interview and lived up to it as well.
Loved what he said, loved the way he backed it up. I think he has cause to feel a little disappointed walking away with 6 points, but ultimately still in the race, only 2 points behind, and technique-wise, look great, passion-wise, love it. And that's what you're going to get from the Welsh.
Exactly, it was some Will Steele and grit. As for Leighton Bennett, well, 2 points from his day. If you're in his camp this evening, what are you saying to him ahead of day 2?
Well done. He was obviously going to be nervous coming here for the very first game. He was very bouncy. I think when you look at his 3rd, 4th and 5th game, he was more measured. There was a level of maturity in his second half of play. Technically, I think there may be some things to work on, but there are still little bits of that fire that remain from when he was 13, 14, 15 years of age. But he's not that player anymore. I think he should be very proud of the way he conducted himself with a great bunch of guys today, and albeit not the perfect day, but still in the mix.
Regardless of what he does over the next few days, is this going to be the biggest learning experience of his career so far?
Possibly. I think when you played Phil Taylor at the Tower of London, that would be a pretty big learning curve, but I think he's just got to be patient. Mason and I talked about it. He's 17 years of age. Does he want to get everything at this age? No, you don't. You want to get a lovely pace of success throughout a career. And if you get too much too soon and nothing else comes after that, you're going to feel very bitter. So now, it's not going to come as fast at this stage. So just let it come to you, be patient, and do make good decisions.
Well, let's round off the day by having a look at the table. We are third of the way through Group A, and after the completion of the first day's fixtures, it is Conor Heneghan who heads the field on legs difference from the Dane Benjamin Drue Reus. Elsewhere, Reus Griffin 3 from 5 to kickstart his group campaign. Anton Ostlund showed some real glimpses of brilliance, whilst for Barauskas and Bennett down at the bottom. Big days needed on moving day if they are to get themselves in the equation. Well, Paul, it's been good fun today, hasn't it?
Thoroughly enjoyed it. I think as the temperature goes up in Portsmouth, they're going to have to handle the heat. Obviously, your shirt did. But I think we're all going to be short-sleeved tomorrow. I think it'll get a bit hotter as well. I think we might actually get our first 100 average tomorrow as well.
Joining me for an afternoon down the beach?
Nope. I'm going to go and get some more research done for tomorrow's action.
That is the consummate pro, that is Paul Nicholson. Right, thank you very much for your company, for Chris's company, for your company, wherever you're tuning into us from. We're going to be back exclusively on the Super Series YouTube channel tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. We're going to get the action underway. But as far as Group A is concerned, well, it was all about Conor. He knows best. Bye-bye.